Hi, JD here. I just thought I'd let you know, if you're a business owner, getting free publicity is not as difficult as you might think it is. I know that in the world that we live in, whereby you tend to pay a fair whack of money for ads on Facebook or for Instagram, any social media, and sometimes you bite your fingernails and think, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Guess what? You can get free publicity these days a lot easier than what you used to, because the offline media, and that is the television stations, the radio stations, and the newspapers, are hungry. They're much hungrier than what they used to be, because the fact is this thing called Facebook has come along and stolen a lot of their revenue. So they're looking for stories that are going to be interesting, and they're willing to devote time in their newspaper, their radio, and their television station for stories. Now, I have a client this week who's part of my program who's been able to get national TV coverage overnight. And she's got the national TV coverage overnight because she has been part of my program. She's got the WOW Manifesto, and in here, in my particular training program, it tells you how to get free publicity. Now, the point is that you're reading that backwards, so I'm not going to bother showing it to you backwards, but there's templates, media release templates, and she sent one of those templates out for a new product that she has. She's a wonderful lady, and her and her husband have a business which is all about oxygen in a can. And I'll let the TV program actually tell you what it's all about, because she got national coverage just by sending out a templated media release that we put together, that she took from my training, and she sent that out to the Gold Coast Bulletin newspaper, because they live on the Gold Coast. The Gold Coast paper picked it up and ran with the story, and then it went viral, went nuts. And her name is Wendy, and she's a fabulous business lady. She's hung in there against the odds from time to time when you launch a new business. This is a brand new business. What had happened is that her and her husband had been over in Canada. They saw that this oxygen stuff was available outside nightclubs and in gymnasiums and so forth, and they thought, okay, well, this is, you probably see it if you've been to America, particularly Vegas, you'll see outside a lot of the nightclubs, they have oxygen stands where the kids actually suck in some oxygen. They pay quite a bit of money for it, and they feel good again. And it's a good hangover cure as well. Well, they decided they'd look for this in Australia. It wasn't available, so they decided to make their own oxygen in a can. Let me play the story to you, and I think you'll see the massive value in this free publicity got overnight. Here we go. I'll just play it right now for you.
Gold Coast couple think they have found the ultimate hangover cure, and they're selling it by the can.
So what's the secret? Litres of compressed oxygen. A cure in a can. After a long drive, a serious workout or a big night, a few deep breaths of compressed oxygen is meant to deliver a natural pick-me-up.
Because your oxygen gets depleted while you're working out, so it replaces that and then gives you more energy to actually work harder at it.
Husband and wife duo Wendy and Bob Babke discovered the stuff while on the slopes in Canada. The devoted daily users decided to launch a brand new business to sell it.
They're being used a lot on high altitude places, and we thought, oh, that's interesting, and we used it ourselves and loved it for just general well-being, pick-me-up. Came to Australia, Google, couldn't find it, and thought, we'll do it.
The couple say you can feel yourself breathing in the benefits.
Enhanced performance, improved recovery time, better than energy drinks, because it's all natural, no caffeine, carbs.
I won't play the entire story on TV, but it went for another couple of minutes past that, and both Bob and Wendy were interviewed, and it has just smashed sales for them. Okay, it's gone nuts. And she's been kind enough to send me this email. Let me just show you where it is. Give me a second. She sent this to me. I'll just show you on my computer screen here. She says, yeah, you're not wrong. I said it was a marvellous, feat. And she said, couldn't have done it without being in your program and your encouragement, support and professional opinion. That was very nice of her to say that. So thank you, Wendy. If you happen to be watching this, I appreciate the nice words. And this is what happened in our Facebook private group club. She just posted that this morning, as a matter of fact, to say thank you and to tell everyone in our private Facebook club just exactly what's going on. As you can see there, she's saying that, one media release to the Gold Coast Bulletin has sent this thing viral right around the country. Her and Bob are very happy campers, because at the moment what's happening is that they're getting orders pouring in for their product. Now, this is available to you if you know how to put together a media release. It all comes to, I've got gigantic hands there, don't I, when I do that? I look like something out of space when I do that. So yeah, if you know how to put together a media release, and if you want free publicity, generally speaking, there's only two ways to really get it, okay? You need to be either A, provocative, tends to be sort of my style, or B, you need to invent something. Now, what they've done is that they've actually invented something. They've come up with oxygen in a can, and it's a pretty good invention. Now, you might say, oh, well, that oxygen's been around for a while. No, no, no. The way that they've put it together, and let me just bring it back to the TV article. I'll just show you again. I'll play one more little bit of it so you'll just see how powerful it is. Let me swap the screen. Here we go. We'll go again. You'll see just how unique this is.
Sales have surged, and so far crowds haven't canned it.
Yeah, it feels really good. It's really like just relaxing, kind of.
Feel quite, just make you feel alive. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Wendy and Bob Badke join us from the Gold Coast. Morning to you, Wendy. Now, when you tell people you are selling oxygen in a can, what kind of reaction do you get?
Mixed reaction. Some say, oh, it's just air, but we do explain that it's actually oxygen from the air. The air we breathe is, the oxygen in the air is 21%, whereas in the cans it's 4.5 times that, which is 95% pure oxygen.
Okay, so by that rationale, Bob, what's the right dose? Can it be dangerous to do too much of this?
Certainly not in the quantity that our can has got. Not at all.
Okay.
So, have you used it after a big night? What difference does it make?
It does help with a hangover. However, I must say it's not the major reason we like it. It's more for sort of general well-being if you're training in the gym, sports, athletes. And there's a lot of professional football players using it overseas, so we're hoping to be able to get into that arena here.
So Bob, some people out there, not us, but some people might say you're just selling air in a can. Is there any evidence that oxygen, for normal people, not professional athletes, has health benefits?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it certainly has. We've done quite a bit of research into the benefits of extra oxygen, because when you exercise, you use the oxygen from your blood. So by taking oxygen lift,
So there you go. I'll stop it there because it goes on for a little bit longer, but that like magnificent national coverage. And I won't tell you what the sales volume is, but Wendy notified me this morning on our private group Facebook club. So when people become part of my private coaching programs, we have a private Facebook group where we communicate with each other, and that's why Wendy was kind enough to put a nice post on there saying thank you for the help that we gave her. But yeah, Wendy said this morning that sales, like we're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sales that she never had last week, and this is all coming from free publicity. Has not cost her a cent. And I guess I'm being a little boastful because the fact is that when people become part of my coaching program, this particular manual here, which I've got a little sticky paper there talking about the free publicity part of it, but this just covers everything that one would need to put together a proper marketing plan for their business. It talks about how to create a wow factor and take your prospect's eyes off the price, which of course this one's built for wow factor marketing. It teaches how to find your most profitable customer and then look for more people who look like them. It teaches you then Facebook advertising. For goodness sake, stop just having a little headline up the top and expecting that to do the job for you, because if you have a little headline, when I say up the top, underneath your video or underneath your photograph, if it's a stunt headline like Elvis found, you will get a lot of people click and come through to your landing page, but guess what? You're paying for all of those, and a majority of them are probably cold clicks. You don't want a cold click. So we put people through a whole Facebook training process whereby we show you that long form copy, a lot of copy above your photo or your video, is what you want to do. And why do you want to do that? Because you want interested parties. For example, in my instance, let's just say that you were, you were selling, not my instance, let's say that you were selling stuff to chiropodists. Then you wouldn't put up the top of your Facebook ad, attention business owners, because you don't want to talk to the whole business owner community. You want to talk just to chiropodists. And then you would actually talk to them about your product in long form. So therefore you would actually have a paragraph above the photo or whatever your product is or your service, and it would say read more. They would click and there'd be another whole bunch of paragraphs come up, and then they'd click, and the whole idea is to get a whole lot of long form copy above your Facebook ad, because the thing is that you want to pre-qualify anyone who clicks and Facebook charges you for that click before they go through to the next stage. And a lot of people are not doing that. In fact, 95%, 99% of people are not doing that. They're using stunt headlines underneath the graphic because they just think it's all about the click. Well, no, it's not. It's all about the cost per click. Because if you're paying for cold clicks that are going through to your landing page that just click because you had a stunt headline, you don't want to pay for that. You want to pre-qualify people before they actually click. So that's why that long form copy above the Facebook ad is what you should be considering. And if you said to me, I don't believe that, fine, go and waste your money, okay? Because we've tested it. We spent $72,000 just in 1 month on testing Facebook advertising. So if you're spending that sort of money, then you make sure that you learn some tricks pretty quick smart. And what we learned when we split tested small copy above the Facebook photo or Facebook video versus long form copy, which pre-qualifies people before they click, the long form copy brings a better prospect, obviously less, but a better prospect, which means your conversion rates in our instance were much, much, much better. We're talking 5 times better, okay? So therefore, don't just get into Facebook advertising for the sake of a click. Anyway, look, I thought I'd do this. And Wendy, if you're watching, congratulations. Wendy and Bob, her husband, have the Oxygen in a Can business. It's called Oxygen Lift, by the way. So therefore, if you're interested in it yourself, I want to give them a plug because Oxygen Lift, and you've seen what they got on TV, that's nothing compared to radio, newspapers, and it all came from being part of our program and knowing how to put together a media release. If you're thinking, well, you know what, JD, I wish I could put a media release together. You don't need to. You don't need to. It's all in here, okay? It's all in here. In fact, what I'll do, I'll click that around. It's all in here, okay? You can read it actually the right way now because in there, it actually shows you how to put together a media release. Not only how to put it together, but also gives you templates whereby insert name here. So if you're interested in knowing that, plus a whole bucket load more stuff, I teased you with a bit of Facebook advice there, then you might like to click the link above, which is a 60-minute webinar. You'll see it's wowmysales.com, and you'll see me rabbiting on about a whole bunch of stuff on that 60-minute webinar. And if you'd like to talk to me or one of our people, then you can book a call. You'll see another link above me there, which is bookawowcall.com. We have 2 programs. We have a private coaching program, which is a few $1,000s a month, where we take over pretty much all of your marketing, provide you with an extensive and customized marketing plan, and then we help you implement that. And the way I always tell people to compare what they would be investing in me, becoming their marketing manager, versus their PA, is that the average wage for a PA in Australia at the moment is $54,000. You join my private coaching program for a few $1,000s a month and you get me for an entire year for $36,000 with unlimited access to me. It means you can ring me on the cell phone at any time. I know which one you'd probably get a better return on your investment. The $54K for the secretary, the PA that's answering your phones, or $36K for me being a quasi-marketing manager. I know it sounds a little bit boastful, but I think you'd probably get more value out of me. I'm biased, of course, okay? Then we have another, and that's probably for a business that's doing 400 or 500 plus turnover. If you're, a startup business or you're only a very small business, then you might like to join our Academy program, and that's a few $100s a month where you get a little bit of me, you still get access to me regularly, but you get a whole bunch of my resources, okay? And those resources are pretty valuable. So if you'd like to know more about that, just go to watch the webinar upstairs. There's the links just above me, and it is wowmysales.com. You'll see exactly how all of this direct response stuff works, and at the end of it, you want to do something with us, great. And if you don't, well, that's fine too. And by the way, if you'd like to see more of these as we pop up and give you marketing hints all the time, the likes of the Facebook one I just gave you, just like me, just like me. It sounds like the boring kid at school. It sounds like the nerd at school. Just like me, please, just like me. No one else likes me. So just press the like button, I should say, and then you'll be notified when these things come through all the time. And if you've got a friend who owns a business, share this, okay? Or if you've got any question that you might want to ask with regards to marketing, plop it below. Because if it's a good question, then there's every chance in the world I will get back to you and give you a good answer, okay? If it's a silly question, well, of course not. And one more thing, we've got a contest at the moment, and that contest is for me to come into your business and do a Gordon Ramsay style marketing makeover. It'll be a bit sarcastic, it'll be a bit silly, so therefore you've got to promise me that you don't have any feelings, right? But what we're going to do is that we're inviting everyone to put the URL of their website below and just explain quickly on the comment what your business is, and a contact detail, of course. And what we're going to do is that we're going to select 1 or 2 or 3 of those businesses for me to go in with a cameraman and do a marketing makeover. In other words, I'll get in and have a look at your business, whether it's an accountancy business. I'm looking around like this, like an idiot, but anyway, I'll be looking around your business. That's why I'm doing that. It doesn't matter whether it's a retail store or whether it happens to be a landscaper, or you might be a builder, or you might be a dentist, you might be a doctor's surgery. I'll go in and basically interview you. It'll have to be you have to be happy for the camera over my shoulder to actually capture that, and then I will provide you with basically a marketing overhaul. Now, my private coaching program is a few $1,000s a month, so therefore, you're going to get an overhaul that's probably worth $30,000. So if you'd like that, and you'd like to be in the running for that, then A, you cannot have feelings, so you've got to have a thick skin, and B, just put your URL and just give a 1 or 2 line description about your business and your contact details below, and we'll let you know whether you are one of the winners. We'll just basically come in with a camera crew, and we'll do what Gordon Ramsay does with his nightmare kitchens, but it won't quite be as cruel as that. There will be no F-bombs. But there will be some sarcasm, so please, you can't have any feelings. Okay, guys, over and out. Hopefully you felt that this story about free publicity might be of some value to you because, gosh, it's free. The great thing about this Facebook Live too, it's free. It's free. If you're not doing this Facebook Live, if you join our program at any time in the future, I'll divulge to you some of the learnings that we've certainly picked up in this Facebook Live environment. It is nuts. For example, one before I go, what we're doing is pumping out 3, 4, 5 or 6 of these a day, and I'm just being myself. I mean, I'm just, obviously I run a business, so therefore I've got to make sales and I've got to put food on the table. And what we do is that we will track the engagement levels of each one of these that we pump out, and the ones that get the best engagement level, guess what we do? We will then put paid advertising behind that and put that out to a wider audience, okay? So therefore, the other thing we do is that we track who's been watching 50% of this, let's say, and then we will remarket to them. So there's 2 things that we get out of doing these regularly. We will identify how many people are watching 30, 40 or 50% of it, and then we'll remarket to them, because you can do that. And the other thing is we identify the videos that are getting the most views. For example, yesterday I did one at Sanctuary Cove, and I was reasonably sarcastically critical of the Sanctuary Cove marketing in terms of their village because it's not flash. It's up to something like 3,000 views in 24 hours. In 24 hours, 3,000 views. Now, that means that was a relatively good video that got good traction. So we will actually cut out my ums and ahs out of that one and tidy it up a little bit, and we'll send that out as a PPC ad, a pay-per-click ad on Facebook. And that's the wonderful thing about this whole world that we live in now, with everything in Facebook and Instagram and so forth, and LinkedIn and YouTube being laser targeted. You can actually now laser target your advertising so that you are not spending as much money and you're getting a better return. So anyone that comes onto our program that wants to get into Facebook Live, because we've been spending quite a bit of money on Facebook and quite a bit of time on this live stuff, particularly the analysis in the background, we'd be happy to help you. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, you've got the 2 links upstairs if you wanted to actually do anything with us. I'll look up at them right now so you know it's upstairs. Okay, the 2 links up there, just click one of those, and look forward to hearing from you. And thank you for that like. If you like this, then terrific. And if you've got some friends who own businesses and you think direct response marketing might be a good thing for them, so when I pop on 2 or 3 times a day and do this rant, then you think that they would get benefit out of it, please share. Okay, all the best, guys. See you later.